Nation.
SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first. Then you act.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Spartan Nation Radio. As the Michigan State Spartans go marching with their number one seed into the Big Ten tournament, Christmas came early, however, in East Lansing, when a young man of terrific basketball ability. I mean, this kid can jump through the gym. He can shoot. He's a defender. He does so much right. And on top of it, he's an absolutely terrific kid. In fact, he is a great basketball player, but unfortunately for him, a lot of people only know that side of him. They don't know that he's absolutely a terrific kid. People love him. He comes from Tum Tum School. He was Tom Izzo's first commit for this class, and absolutely an incredible. I'm going to check his weight, though. He's reported at 190, but I think he's a little bit bigger. At least he's playing a lot stronger than 190. Let's bring in from Sunrise Academy in Kansas the great Malik Hall. Malik, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be on the show.
So let me ask you, Malik, you're reported at 190, but when I watched some recent film of you and everything else, you seem bigger than that, especially across the chest. Have you been in the weight room? Are you bigger than 190, or is it my eyes just deceiving me?
No, I'm actually 210.
Okay, good.
So I'm definitely bigger.
Well, good. Malik, I want to get into a lot of different things with you. I don't want to just talk basketball because literally everybody I talk to about you talks about character. And so that's going to be really important for us to dig in because I want the fans to get to know you. But let's start with basketball. You're 6'7". What do you think you do best?
I think probably the best quality I bring to a team is probably my versatility. I don't think I considerably do any one aspect of the game really well. I think I could shoot pretty well. I think I can attack the basket pretty well. My handles are pretty good. Leadership qualities, I got them. I've had to lead several teams throughout the past 2 years. So I think it's just a lot of different aspects about my game that I could bring to a team.
Malik, there's one thing I noticed about you. You're not afraid to get in your teammates' face, but you're not a guy who's in there dropping MFs but you're definitely leading. I like that leadership style. Where did that come from? Because most guys don't understand. They're either quiet or they're cussing guys out. They don't understand. You're not getting a lot accomplished. You can yell at them, but you got to tell them what they did wrong. Where did that come from? Because quite frankly, I think it's beyond your age.
Honestly, it's mostly my parents. They've done a great job at raising me and teaching me how to show people the right way to do things, and not necessarily always being like, yeah, I know everything, but like just being able to show people like the aspects that I know that they may not know. My mom always says, you don't know what you don't know. And if you think about that, it's very true. So I always just try to help my teammates by not being too overwhelming or too like in their face. And, I think that not only did my parents help me, but I think Sunrise helped me a lot with that quality. Coach Luke is really good at developing players, and I think he did a great job. With me, he needed me to be the leader, even though I wasn't always the oldest guy. But you always need somebody on the team to speak up, and I think he did a great job at pushing me to reach outside my comfort zone and become that leader.
Malik, was that something Izzo talked to you about in Dane Fife, that because they love guys who talk, they love leaders? Was that something that they told you, hey, we love this about you?
Yeah, well, it definitely was one of the things. They know that Sunrise breeds a lot of leaders, even if you're not the team leader while you're there. When you show up to your school, whatever school you're going to, they always teach us to not be quiet because, coaches love somebody who's going to communicate and, help the team out. And I think that was a big part. And I think coaches will definitely made an emphasis on that for me.
Malik, talk about your three-point shooting, would you?
A lot of people think I need to get a lot better, and I could agree with that because if I add that aspect of my game where I'm a knockdown shooter, it'll definitely change the game for me. I think I'm pretty steady. I'm like maybe like 35% right now. It's definitely something I've been working on a lot since the summer. A lot of scouts and coaches would always tell me, like, if you get your 3-pointer right, you're going to be very lethal on the court. So I've definitely been working on that since the summertime. We've definitely seen improvements. Some games I would shoot 3 for 5. Some, like one of my games, I think I went like 7 for 8. So it's definitely we definitely see the progress.
I agree. We're talking to Tom Izzo's first recruit for the 2019 class, Malik Hall, the terrific power forward out of Sunrise Christian. Of course, you guys know that's the school of Tum Tum and Marvin Clark. Malik, one thing really stands out with me, I was going to say about your three-point game is at Sunrise, you haven't had to be a three-point guy. I mean, it doesn't mean you don't shoot them, but it hasn't been all. And to me, I love where it sits because as more emphasis gets put on it when you get to college, you've proven the work ethic. So to me, I think it's probably better than where people had hoped just because of the school you play at. There's so much talent. You haven't had to be Larry Bird. Is that true?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, the past couple of years we definitely had a lot of great shooters around me. So it's not necessarily. I think that can be a very major key for a team. If you have several people around you that can shoot, it makes the game a lot easier. And I never had to be that one guy. Like, we need you to knock down 3-pointers, and I think that was pretty big for me.
Malik, let's talk about the recruiting process. Quite frankly, you could have went anywhere you wanted. I mean, you had everybody that was interested, including Purdue out of the Big Ten, Oklahoma, Oregon, a lot of them, Butler, a lot of schools, a lot of great basketball schools. But Michigan State won your heart. So tell everyone, because the fans don't get to see Tom Izzo and Dane Fife recruit. What was it about those two, and Coach G and Coach Stevens, that won your heart where you said, I want to go to East Lansing?
Honestly, it was the expectations. As you said, ethic, and getting better has always been a thing for me. I've never been the highest guy in the rankings or anything like that. For the most part, I've pretty much earned everything I got and worked for it. So that was a major key for them. They always said, when you get here, we're always going to work. And it's always about getting better and becoming the best player that you can possibly be, along with being the best person. So for them, that was mostly what they emphasized on me. Like, if you want to be the best you can be, you need to come to our school. And it wasn't anything like, it wasn't like one of those every coach says it. And like, it was really like passionate. You could tell coming from their voices. And it was something that they were emphasizing and made a major point on. So that was mostly what sold me.
Malik, I mean this as a compliment, so hear me out before you hang up the phone. Because your game is different than his. But I'm going to tell you who you remind me of on the court as far as passion. You remind me a lot of a guy I consider that is a friend of mine, Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. I love your passion. You are not – I think you would stock the water cooler if you thought it would get you a win. I think you would pick up the dirty clothes and do the laundry if it would get you just one more win on the schedule. You're kind of a Swiss Army knife. Am I being fair to you?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. That's definitely one of the things that Coach Izzo said to me. He said that would be a big emphasis. He kind of compared me to him and a couple other people with the versatility. And winning, like if you're playing just for fun, that's great. And everybody has their different reasons why they play. And I've never really won anything super big. So actually, I'm sorry about that, but I never won any like big tournaments or any awards or anything. So, when it comes to winning, I want it all. I want the national championships. I want the Big Ten championships. And, that's just kind of always been my thing is, doing whatever the team can get so we can get wins.
What did you think watching the game of the atmosphere at the Breslin Center on Sunday?
Honestly, it was pretty crazy. I'd never been there while the Izzo Zone was there. Because my official visit was a football weekend, and they hadn't quite started up basketball yet. And then the one I came to, I want to say it was around Christmas time versus Northern Illinois. Everybody was gone, everybody was at home, so it was actually ridiculous to see, all the students, and the atmosphere was just ridiculous, like deafening. I'd never seen anything like that before, so it was crazy.
Now you got to meet, I don't know if you knew him before, Julius Marble, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I actually didn't know him before. He played with my roommate at Sunrise. His name's Grant. So I got to kind of like know a little bit about him before I actually got to see him. He seems like a great guy and even better player. So I'm excited to play with him.
Last question, and quite frankly, it's the most important, Malik. Everybody talks character with you. That tells me you come from an amazing family and you're very blessed. Can you tell us about your parents?
Honestly, so when I was a lot younger, my dad was actually a coach, and he always just preached to me about being the best person, and he actually got sick. He has dementia, so he stopped being as like we weren't as close as we used to be when we were younger. Um, that happened when I was 9, so it's really been my mom's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me since that point. And she always just harps on like treat people how you want to be treated. And I come from a Christian household, so the Lord obviously has a lot to do with how my character is and how passionate I am towards other people and how loving I am.
There are a bunch of players on this team whose faith is very important with them. It's not just something they talk about because mom and dad, they have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Talking about Joshua Langford, of course, Kala Arns, and others. I'm curious, as you got to know those guys, did that matter to you that there were other believers on this team and guys you're going to play with who share that faith that you have?
It definitely is a major part. I didn't really become super close with the Lord until I went to Sunrise. So them instilling that in me and having a bunch of teammates who also believed, everyone on the team was basically believers. So you can't lose with Christ on your side. So that's definitely a major thing for me. I don't think that anybody will be able to stop us. If we have our faith in the Lord, and I think a lot of great things get accomplished.
Well, his name is Malik Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget him. He's a superstar basketball player, but an absolutely wonderful young man from a great family. And Michigan State is very blessed to have him as part of their next recruiting class. Again, the great Malik Hall will be back on Spartan Nation Radio.